Well, welcome back to Cardboard Swords and another instalment of the Player's Toolbox. Today we're looking at all those sleeper cards. Those cards that haven't seen much play. They've been lurking in the shadows, waiting for outsiders to drop and unlock their full potential. Let's get in. The generic cards are as good a place as any to make a start, and we've got a couple of heroes here who are potentially interested in manipulating the top of their own deck or manipulating the top of their opponent's deck. Seek Horizon is a card that came in Monarch, and a few people quickly tried it in Azalea before writing off as complete jank. It's a 0 for 4 that gains go again by putting a card from your hand on the top of your deck. At the minute, Seek Horizon Red sees play in less than 1% of decks, and there might just be something in Outsiders, a bow mechanic or a hero ability that manages to unlock this card's potential. A card that sees even less play is Rise Above Red. This is a defense reaction that blocks for 4 and costs 2, but as an alternative cost, you can put a card from your hand on the top of your deck. Now, we don't yet know what the hero ability is going to be on Arachne's Solitary Confinement, but if it's anything like the adult Arachne, he's going to be manipulating the top of our deck. Rise Above could be a good way to counteract that and manipulate what he's able to banish in the reaction step. At the minute, this only sees play in 0.5% of all decks, so I guess the only way is up for Rise Above. Time to have a look at the ninja class. Now, this first one isn't so much a sleeper as it's been in a bit of a meditative state. Flick Flack is a very strong card and used to see a lot of play back in the Arcane Rising Crucible of War meta. Back then there was a hard control Katsu build that was dubbed the Ninja Turtle, and we've not seen a ninja control build since then, but if there is going to be one, Flick Flack is going to be at the heart of it. It's a 0 cost defense reaction and the red blocks for 4, but it also has the following text. If the next card you defend with this turn is a card with combo, it gains +2 defense. That means you can block up to 9 with 2 cards, which is just an incredible rate. Another above rate ninja defense reaction, albeit a little more niche, is Wax On. It's seen little to no play since its release in Everfest, and maybe that is because it's a little bit too niche. It's a 0 cost defense reaction and the red blocks for 3, but if it's defending against an attack action card with cost 0, it gets +2 defense. Now, there are no shortage of 0 cost attack actions, particularly in the assassin class, so maybe Wax On starts to see some play as part of a sideboard plan. A ninja attack action that's currently only seen in 4% of all decks is Hurricane Technique. It's a yellow pitch 1 cost attack for 4 and it has combo, and it combos with Rising Knee Thrust. If Rising Knee Thrust was the last attack on the combat chain, this gains +1, go again, and if it hits, put it back into your hand. Ranger players know how powerful this effect can be on cards like Endless Arrow. This is another combo line finisher with some pseudo card advantage. And as we get more combo line support and combo line divergence, I expect this card to see a little bit more play. As for Ranger, well, Azalea builds have always been more effective when we've gone tall with our arrows. Big arrows with big on-hit effects. But we have always had some good go-wide cards. Rapid Fire is a yellow pitch 0 cost non-attack action with go again. It simply says arrows you control gain go again till the end of your turn, and it has reload. At the minute, Rapid Fire is in 1.6% of decks, but if we get the right support in Outsiders, that number will increase. Poison the Tips is another yellow pitch 0 cost non-attack action with go again, and again it has reload. This one simply says until the end of your turn, arrows you control gain, if this hits a hero, they discard a card. An undeniably powerful effect, but one that's more at home in a go-wide strategy, which Azalea hasn't had a great deal of access to as of yet. But when Outsiders drops, well, that might change. There's also a new Ranger in town, Riptide, and he's a lot more defensive. His playstyle revolves around traps, which are all defense reactions. Feign Death is a yellow pitch 1 cost Ranger instant. It says you can play Feign Death only if you've been dealt damage this turn. The next time you be dealt damage this turn, prevent it. For a Ranger deck that's already looking to spend resources on the opponent's turn, Feign Death might be a really useful defensive tool. It's currently only in 2.1% of decks, but Riptide might really like the cut of its jib. Now, we've got to give a nod towards those original Crucible of War traps. They've seen very little play because they're just bad. The fact that these ones can only be played from Arsenal is really limiting. Having said that, if we see the right support with some reload, these might be playable, and James White himself has come out and said these will be relevant after Outsiders. The pick of them is probably Tripwire Trap, which blocks for 4 and prevents on-hit effects unless the opponent plays 1. this might be useful given some of the on-hit effects we've seen so far in spoiler season. It's also worth noting that if your opponent's already got a Bloodrot Pox token, that's going to cost them 3 resources at the end of their turn. They might be stretched pretty thin on resources in order to have to pay for the effect on one of these traps. And they are my pre-Outsiders sleeper card picks. The Assassin card pool is so new and so small that there aren't any real sleepers in there. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, or have any other spicy sleeper picks. All the data quoted within this video was taken from Teklo Labs, which is a really useful Flesh and Blood resource. There's a link in the description. In the next few days, the Outsiders spoilers are going to drop like they're hot, so make sure you like and subscribe for all the spoilers roundups and other Flesh and Blood content. We'll see you next time.